Hi. I've been asked more than 4 times about how to manage your child's fear with mindfulness. And actually, just this morning, I participated in a thread on this exact thing. A lot of moms are asking, what could they do for their children? So, here's just a really quick mini course on how to manage fear with mindfulness and other social emotional learning techniques and tricks. First thing is just to have them name that they are afraid. So I know that that sounds super simple, but giving children the language of saying this is fear really helps. Sometimes children will say that their stomach hurts. And if we give a couple of more questions as to why their stomach hurts, maybe they're on their way to a dance recital, or maybe they're going through a big transition like potty training or a new teacher at school or a longer school day. Children are so small and so impressionable, and everything is so new that fear is something that's naturally going to rise up to let them know to take things a little slow. So we don't want to tell them to not be afraid or that it doesn't exist. We want to acknowledge that this is real for them. Just naming the fear. We call it name it to tame it in the mindfulness community. The next thing that you're going to do is ask them, where does it live in their body? So where physically do they feel fear? They might feel their heart races a little bit when they're afraid. Maybe their belly is upset. Maybe their mind is talking a lot more. Maybe they're clenching their jaw, or they're balling their fists up, or shoulders are raised. So where do they feel it? There's going to be a strong physical sensation somewhere. And if they don't have an answer to this, ask them to just check in. What does your stomach feel like? Can you feel your heart? How is your breath? Children are so in tune with their bodies, they will be able to give you an answer. And then you just ask them to breathe into that physical sensation. So name it to tame it, name that it's fear so they understand what fear feels like. Where does it live in your body? And then focus on that part and breathe in and breathe out. Encourage them to take more than three. Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood has an awesome song when you feel so mad that you want to roar, take a deep breath, and count to four. And I really like that. Again, a Mr. Rogers spinoff, of course. Have them take 4 deep breaths and see where they feel. Check in with them after. How does that part of your body feel now? If you have a very small child, that means below 11, really, ask them to name an animal that reminds them of their fear. So sometimes I'm the mom of athletes, and sometimes on the way to games, they are very anxious, very nervous, like telling themselves a story in their head about what they can do, what might happen, what happened last time, how they want to perform. All of these performance anxiety and fear comes up. And so we have a little trick that we do on the car ride to our games and to other activities too. What animal does your fear remind you of? My one son always calls out a lion. And then I say, okay, the fear lion, what does it sound like? Make the noise. And he gives a little, and then by the end of this exercise, he's really growling in the back seat of the car. What would it move like? Would the lion be very active and moving all over? Would the lion be just stoic and staring? Really let them get into this as much or as little as they want to. If you continue with this practice, I promise you, they will start to correlate snake, dolphin, monkey. They will start to call out some animal that their fear is reminding them of. And that just gives them a little bit more of a concrete structure in their mind there instead of something so abstract like fear. To recap, fear, name it to tame it, give them the language. Where does it live in your body? Breathe into that spot. And then, if you wanted to take it a step further, if your fear was an animal, what animal would it be? What does it sound like? How does it move? Have a great day.